I want to thank all the subscribers, by the way. I think we're almost at 3,000, right, Patrick?
Yeah.
Pretty close. And I really want to thank you. I got some really nice compliments on YouTube. I really appreciate it. You know, Patrick and I work hard with these videos, and of course they are free. So we're very happy to be providing this service on YouTube. So today I want to talk about padding chairs, dining room chairs, and also maybe get into a little bit of style too, and also limitations of dining room chairs, what you can do. So let's get started. A customer brought me in 3 of these beautiful oak chairs, dining chairs. So a lot of times dining chairs are made to a table. So changing the height is always iffy. Especially customers will say to you, hey, I want something comfortable. Can you put springs in a dining room chair? The answer to that is no springs in a dining room chair ever. And people try to do this, manufacturers try to do this all the time. It just doesn't work because it caves in too much, and it doesn't give you the proper seating again to the table. Okay, so that's one thing right off the bat. So this chair is a little challenge, a little bit of a mystery too. First, when I looked at it, thought that perhaps it had caning on it, and we can do that sometimes, folks. You can, if somebody's caning is gone on an oak chair like this, you can make a nice plywood base, and then I'll show you we're going to get into how to upholster a plywood base properly in this video. But there's more to it than it looks. People say, oh, dining room seats, I could do those are easy. But you've seen some of my other videos, the piano bench video where I show you how to stretch fabric. It's not as easy because a slip seat, once you remove it, it moves on you. So you'd see in that video, if you want to go to that and take a look, it's going to go into the fabric end of things. But I'm going to be going into more style and what to use when and what the customer's going to pay for too, by the way. So the first thing, I'm going to put this down and show you a strip chair that I stripped. One of the 3. So I see that there's just a slab of cotton on there, one layer of cotton. I'm going to do a little bit better job of that. Now the customer, you know, some customers don't always want to pay for the pre-World War II upholstery, which is the horsehair, which is very expensive. I'm going to show you how to do a horsehair seat on this, how to put the padding in horsehair, and show you how they used to do it in the old days too. But let's start with the post-World War II or polyurethane method, which is what this customer's going to pay for. So what I did was I took a piece of 1-inch high-density medium foam, and I cut it to the size of the padding of the board. Okay. And what I'm going to do is just show you. Come over here. We're going to take about a piece of cotton, a layer of cotton, okay, and we're going to spread the cotton over, and we're going to pick it so that there's no machine edge showing. And so we cannot just put the foam in, because if we just put the foam and staple it, we're going to create like a bubble in there, an air pocket. And what the cotton does, the cotton prevents that air pocket. Okay, so we're just going to, maybe what you can do is just the corners staple down or tack down if you're working tacks. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the foam over. I like to start in the back, and we're going to staple the back. Staple the front, and I'm stapling on top. And I'm going to do the sides. I'm taking the bottom of the foam and I'm kind of rolling it under so that you're not going right through the full thickness of the foam. This actually helps shaping the seat. I'll bring that closer to the camera so that you see it. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the bottom and I'm folding it and stapling really the top portion of the foam. So I'm going to finish the side. Okay, so that's a post-World War II. So just to let you know, folks, depending on the fabric that you're going to use, the next step is to take either bonded dacron and staple that underneath, or we're going to take a layer of cotton. Cotton is usually used, it's easier to work, you just trim, and it's easier to work because you don't have to staple it, but the bonded dacron you do have to staple. So that's the post-World War II. Before we move on to the pre-World War II method, I'm going to show you that. I wanted just to show you that this indeed was not cane, but originally this had probably a leather seat on the top. which we upholster these dining room chairs because we're limited with height. So the average dining room chair is about 19 or 20 inches from the floor. Let's measure this just to see. This is 19, so you don't want to put any more than an inch padding on that, folks, really. And by the way, from a scale standpoint, you wouldn't want to overpad this chair because they're small chairs. And that's another consideration. Just wanted to say, I've seen a lot of manufacturers, even good manufacturers today, where the scale is so out of whack. I can see it right away. They make their cushions 6 inches, seat cushions 6 inches big, and the sofas themselves are big. So I can tell right away that the scale isn't what I would like. So we pay a lot of attention. Custom upholsterers pay a lot of attention to this. Scale is as important as color as far as I'm concerned. So now let me show you the pre-World War II, or the more expensive way. If your customer is willing to spend money for horsehair, it's a great way to upholster, I think. And I'll explain why. Let's show you a little horsehair. So I want to bring this right up to the camera to show you that horsehair, the quality as a batting. Horsehair falls under batting, as well as cotton, as well as fiber, coconut fiber, and things like that. So each one of these little hairs is like a mini coil spring, and it hardly ever loses that bounce. That's what makes this a very special batting. I can't say enough about horsehair. It's expensive, but even on a dining room seat like this, what you're going to get, so what we're going to do is show you. Now in the old days, what they had to do before staple guns, they would have to hand tack a piece of burlap on this, and then with needle and thread attach the horsehair, one handful at a time, and picked. You want to pick the horsehair. This happens to be picked, but if you have clumpy horsehair, the way to pick it is you just go like this, right? And it should be nice and loose, okay? And that's what I'm doing, is I'm building a handful. So the handful goes on like so, right? And then what happens is this gets stapled. Now just for the benefit of you guys, I'm doing that. You really do want it down like this when you staple, but so each handful gets stapled to each other, and you kind of knead it like dough in there to each other. I'm going to do one more just to show you that, and then the next one gets stapled. So it's about the same, your hand size, picked, and then you knead it in like so. If you can see that, kneading, and then it becomes one. So that's 2 handfuls. By the time you're done, you'll have multiple handfuls, and this will appear as one layer of horsehair. And then what you do after that is you put a muslin over that. You always need muslin over horsehair. And notice how you don't need the extra step of the cotton, okay? Because this is doing the job. It really has some good bounce, and it will stay like that for a good long time. So over the muslin though, after you do the muslin on the horsehair, you may want to take some cotton over that, and then your fabric. So I hope that this has been informative. I can't think of anything else that we can discuss on this. I just wanted to show you the alternatives, and happy upholstering.